I want to comment today about Operation SHIKA MSUMARI. I was not wholly explained. I mean, the way they talked about Operation SHIKA MSUMARI gave a wrong impression. Although very little harm was done on that. But we have some other quotations which journalists heard of me, which I think wasn't fair, or I didn't like it. If you Google my name or Google Bishop Alexander Muge, you'll find such things as confession of how the bishop was killed. In literature, in law, and in religion, confession is a person who is admitting having done guilt, either a sinner or a criminal. At best, I was a whistleblower, a witness who would have kept quiet and would have gone on with life normally. But I decided to tell the truth, even at the level of risking my life. But here, headlines fly, confession. I was not among the 4 intelligence officers who were in that vehicle. There is one intelligence officer whom we met at Mahindi Bar and Hotel, just next to the police station, who told me what happened, and that was the basis of what he told me. I gave his name to all the commissions, and I even gave his name to the newspapers. He is the source of my information. But much later, after the story had gone viral, I met somebody between Nyati House and Utalii House, a person whom I knew was an inspector of police during the time I was an inspector of police. When I stretched my hand, he became hostile. He didn't want to greet me. At that time, the level of unyanyapaa to HIV positive people was worse than today. It keeps on improving. I mean, nowadays, anybody can just be open and say he or she has. But there were times when you leave that place and they apply jik there. So he told me, kwa nini unataka kuwa kama mtu ya ukimwi? I got annoyed because those days being told that, and you know you are not, it was like an abuse. Then when I asked him what he meant, he said, don't you know that people with the HIV, they have decided to spread it? And then I say, how does me and HIV come into one sentence? He told me, you are sacked, and you want us also to be sacked. What is worse? You are even want us jailed. Afadhali we, you are sacked and you just stay at home. But you want us jailed. And I thought you are a very close friend of mine. I kept wondering what he said, because these things were strange to me. But he just walked away without even elaborating it. That night, I visited somewhere where I usually visit. I have a photographic mind, and there are occasions at night when I'm alone in the house. I close my eyes, switch off the radio, everything, including light, and close and go back to a scene that occurred a few years or decades ago. I went back to Mahindi Hotel, and I remembered what the other agent, the special branch agent, had told me about the 4 people in the vehicle. I then remembered what was written in the newspapers about the 4 people. That is when, that night, that is when it came to my mind that this inspector whom I had met between Utalii House and Nyati House was the crew commander of that vehicle. But it was later I could not add his name because during the TGRC and various commissions, I said any other information I come through, I will not add. Finally, let me talk about the misinterpretation of SHIKA MSUMARI. In disciplined forces, we have 2 types of operations. We have an operation that is long-term, like the operation we had in West Pokot that was called Lotr. It took over a year. Then we had short-term operations which may even last hours and minutes. So SHIKA MSUMARI was, the inspector was telling Nairobi that we have done something and the blame will go to somebody else. It is like a carpenter. He tells you to hold his musumari. If he misses, he hits your fingers. And if he succeeds, he is praised as a good fundi. So Operation SHIKA MSUMARI is a sort of a standing order, a coded message saying that we have done our job, don't be worried. Kama kuna mtu ataumia, ni vidole vya mtu mwingine vitafinywa na sio sisi. Thank you.